Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay, let's start with the great Clint of week 9. What was your great for week 9?
Well, I'll befriend you to start with the Lions.
Oh, let's
That
go.
that was. I know I'm in a text thread with Packer fans, and I constantly get we made so many mistakes. It should have been closer. Uh, the Lions controlled that game, and sure at the end, you always get we shut them down in the second half, and you're like, well, it's raining, and it was what 21 to 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was 21 to nothing, or it was just they had control of that game, which was impressive because of the weather. You think of if you're the Packers or the Bears or some of these northern teams, you usually bank your advantage of if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's cold. All right, we have a dome team coming in, but the Lions don't play like a dome team for the most part. And I know Goff can struggle. Like once the Lions got control of that game, they get the great because they grabbed it and then they're good enough to just run out the clock like they did at the end.
Yeah, they were up 24-6 going into the fourth quarter. They scored 7 points in the third quarter. I would say one thing I said when I did my Tuesday takeaways every Tuesday morning, check it out on YouTube if you guys want. But I only do clips on YouTube. Is I didn't think the Lions really played as top notch as they could have. It was kind of like they got ahead and they're like, we're good with sitting on the ball because the Packers are having a hard time putting the ball in the end zone, moving the ball. Jordan Love's injured. I felt like they kind of could have scored one more time if they needed to. So I just thought it was a good win, a big win. And I think like what's funny is everybody was worried about Jared Goff in the weather. But I think like with weather like that, any explosive offense you have to worry about, right? And the Packers have an explosive offense. So like some some of the Jordan Love balls weren't thrown accurately. He had that one horrible pick six. And then there was drop balls in the rain, and they seem more like they couldn't handle the rain more so than the Lions.
Yeah, and that's should be surprising. The Packers did start out, they ran the ball effectively, but again, teams do this sometimes. I have no idea why, Josh Jacobs runs down the field 2 or 3 times and then he doesn't touch the ball again
Right.
the rest of that drive.
Yeah.
Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I think even in the Packers of the last since they've had Rodgers, especially once Rodgers got a little older, they are more of a dome team than a lot of dome teams.
Correct.
The Lambeau home field advantage in the cold isn't there. The Niners have come up there twice and beat them. So it's not like a place that I don't want to say people are afraid to go to, but the way the Packers have built their team is not to thrive in that.
100%, I agree. My great is I gave it to Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, he had over 250 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, and then his QBR was 85.5. And I love that when he threw that last touchdown and he walked off the field with like no emotion. Like he's like all business. I love that. Is like he's just, hey, we're 4-5. We have no time to celebrate. We got to get to the playoffs. And then just a little pat on my back. Gesicki was like one of the offseason. I said he was going to be a sneaky offseason signing. He went in over to the Patriots the last season or two, and he was basically like not used because they didn't have a quarterback. He was pretty solid in Miami as far as a receiving tight end, and I thought he would work well in the Bengals system. And he had 5 receptions, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He has been a pretty good signing for them.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much, for fantasy purpose, you pretty much plug him in whenever T. Higgins doesn't play, and
Correct.
he's golden. Yeah, the Bengals have kind of steadied their ship. They played. I didn't put them in any of the categories just because the Raiders did keep it close
that's
for a
fair.
little bit. And the Bengals, my off-season worry about them not picking him to go to the playoffs, I still feel good about based on who they still have to play coming up. But you're right, Joe Burrow. I mean, probably should have gave Joe Burrow a great for 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I got you. You talk the lines,
But
I'll talk Burrow.
yeah, but they put it together. They got to win these games. Like they have no margin for error, so they stepped up this week.
Yeah. And what's working for them right now is the AFC is not that strong for the wild cards right now. Like not a lot of, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like some of the Jets and the Dolphins, and there's some other one, the Browns. Those teams are not going to be factors. The Jaguars that people thought might be factors. Some people thought the Colts were going to be a factor. So there may be a chance. Okay, you ready to move on to the good? Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.